Hello, I'm Tam, the TamBoTC channel, and I wanted to talk about the Aquaman Lost Kingdom trailer, or movie, not trailer. We're way past that. But yeah, I want you to keep in mind this is my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Even when I titled the video the way it is, I just find it a powerful title, as well as kind of like how I do my cyberpunk titles. I feel like those titles still speak to what I'm trying to get at, while you could say they're clickbait. There's no doubt about that, and clickbait isn't always a bad thing, though I hate it myself sometimes, and I can see why. But I just wanted to talk about this because I thought it was interesting. I love Voice Critical, Jeremy Jahns. I saw their takes. I was kind of scared going into Aquaman 2 that it was going to be really awful. I actually really liked it and don't agree with a lot of their points. I enjoyed it. I don't think this, first off, you gotta keep in mind this is a superhero movie, and I don't think it's trying to go for Oscars or try to be something deep or meaningful like a Christopher Nolan movie. It's not trying to be that. This is just a fun Aquaman movie. What I was mostly looking for was one of my favorite villains. I love Black Manta. He's one of my favorite DC villains, other than a lot of Batman villains and some Superman and such. But I was looking for him and some cool fights between them. I got that. I liked the character development. Jason Momoa clearly has a lot of charisma and is showing that he has a lot of fun. While jokes don't always hit, there are definitely jokes that will with you. It's very colorful, and I think it's a creative looking movie. It's kind of like if you took the visuals, it's not on the same level as Avatar, definitely not, but if you took the visual presentation of Avatar and mixed it with that one cantina scene from Star Wars New Hope, that's kind of what the whole movie felt with some Aquaman fight scenes spread in between. It was a lot of fun. I loved it. The visuals were not like, I'm going to use Ant-Man Quantumania as an example, as well as was the other movie, The Flash, which I heard both Moist and Jeremy and others compare it to, and even say that it was worse than. I don't agree. Even with the weight of having Michael Keaton back as Batman, which was really cool, couldn't save that freaking film for me. Not only is Aquaman actually doing good at the box office compared to The Flash, but The Flash and even Ant-Man Quantumania have some really beautiful set pieces or like the scenery and stuff that they create. There you go. Yeah, can't be having that. I'm sorry. There's probably there's some barrels in there actually. But yeah, like I'm just loading it up right now. Let's get rid of these freaking loud ass speakers. Take this dumbass thoughts. Actually, the breaking this whole thing will get rid of all of these. Come on. Man, this takes a freaking long ass time to get rid of stuff. Fuck. But yeah, I'm gonna use the flash. There are legit moments where there are cool visuals in those. But god damn, they're like, it's hard to look at some of the visuals in those. Like the whole baby scene alone, as well as MODOK, like that. I don't care if you think Aquaman looks bad. Not even close, bruh. Not even close. God damn, you have to be freaking high to think that that's freaking this on the same level. Like, those are actually genuinely awful, and what makes them worse is they're hurting characters that are supposed to be really looked up to. Here's another thing I want to use it as an example. So Kang the Conqueror is actually a really favorite villain of mine too. I love that character in the comics. Think of it this way. Black Manta is kind of like the equivalent of Joker versus Batman. Aquaman versus Black Manta. He's like the arch nemesis to Aquaman. Kang, however, is supposed to be this version of a no Thanos, essentially, or at least trying to reach the same threat level. and he gets beaten by Ant-Man in like a fist fight or whatever. And he just doesn't show any intimidation or anything. Another thing I have to bring out is when it comes to the pacing, I can tell some of the pacing is definitely off, but I feel like that is a lot due to them removing Amber Heard scenes. And I have to say, for movies that have controversial actors in them, oh, I have full, frickin'. Where's an assault rifle? I need an assault rifle. I need something ranged. I can't have all this, frickin' close combat stuff. Okay, I guess I don't know what to do. But yeah, like, for movies, all three movies ironically have controversial, like, actors or whatever. And honestly, out of them, Amber Heard's in the Aquaman movie the least compared to them. And thank goodness for that. She also she's the only one in the movie I felt had stilted acting, kind of like on the same level as Jennifer Lawrence from, or whatever the frick her name is, from Hunger Games / her performance in, especially in X-Men Dark Phoenix, kind of felt similar to how Amber Heard was kind of phoning in a lot of her stuff in this freaking movie. But I had a lot of fun. I think the movie mostly delivered on giving me that fun. And I think a lot of people are seeing that too. And it's actually, because it's getting the criticism it is, it's just making people more curious about it. I think it's actually a really fun movie. It does have a heavy-handed message on like global warming or whatever, and I'm like, it's not nearly as heavy-handed as some films go. Definitely not. But it's there. And honestly, it does kind of resonate. Even if it's not done entirely well, it does kind of resonate and feel close to home. As like where I live, the weird thing is we usually have really big snowstorms where I live. We haven't had a single thing of snow, by the way, from frickin' August to now. I'm not joking, not a single bit of snow, and it's super unusual. And honestly, this movie kind of feels like it resonates a little close to home on that weird level. Our target's like right next to us. But yeah, like, I don't think this, like, I'm looking for a fun Aquaman. I know it's got kind of a last minute, it's not really a last minute. They kind of do let you know early. But they do have like kind of a oh. That must be my target. Jumped as I was shooting. Oh, I think they're in combat with someone. But yeah, they had kind of a last minute, but it's not really a last minute villain. Where take the Dark Knight Rises with Talia al Ghul. Like, Bane should have just straight up been the main villain. Who gives a crap about her? She wasn't even built up all that well. I still like that movie though. I don't agree with Doug from Nostalgia Critic on that, on some of his points. I do think that if anything, Joseph Gordon-Levitt had got a lot of the crappier lines and writing, if anything. And he's a good actor. I've seen him in some great stuff. I love him in Looper. But like, he got some pretty crappy dialogue, honestly. And yeah, but we're not here to talk about that movie. But I honestly, I don't think that frickin' the Aquaman movie was that bad. It was fun. It was a popcorn movie. I got a cool tin popcorn bucket out of it. I always love having something to collect from the movie experiences I go to. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this movie. If you want a fun dumb Aquaman movie, it's not perfect. but it is just a fun movie, and I think that some people are letting their cynical critic side get the better of them a little too much. Clearly, Godzilla Minus One's the best film, and I'm freaking love Godzilla. I actually picked up more Godzilla books recently. I just got my Best of Gigan, and I got another Godzilla comic, actually. I have to fetch it, though, to freaking remember the title of it, even. Whoops. Storm coming. I was heading towards it. But yeah, this was a fun movie. It's definitely not winning any movie like awards or anything, but that's not the point. It's just a fun movie, and I think it knows it. And it's the end of a cycle of movies in that universe. So, does it really matter at this point? No. So I think the hate it's getting actually doesn't feel that warranted. Not only do I think the threat, coming back to the villain thing, I think that the threat, as well as on a personal level even, and how they executed it, Black Manta was definitely much better presented than Kang, or that ugly CGI MODOK. Like, definitely better. I think the only movie I haven't seen yet was, which has an ironically underwater king character or whatever, is the second Black Panther. I gotta see that because I've been wanting to, but I always like don't get the chance, or something slips past me when I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I never get the chance. And my friend shares Disney Plus with me, so I'm gonna probably watch it sometime when I can, and hopefully that's soon. But yeah, I haven't seen that. It's got a very similar like character to Aquaman. A matter of fact, I think he came out before Aquaman, so Aquaman's kind of his copycat. But still, I think Jason Momoa is really fun. I like some of the dynamics. There's actual character growth going on. I think overall the movie did a good job. Once again, not meant to be on the same level as stuff like John Wick and frickin' Godzilla Minus One, or even Oppenheimer, like I said, the Christopher Nolan movies. But goddamn, it's a fun movie. It delivered on just the frickin'. It does have some choppy action parts where the camera wouldn't focus, but those don't last long, and honestly, the fights were cool when they did focus on them, which they did most of the time. They did a good majority of like really cool fight scenes. And I love the creativity behind it. The CGI is not nearly as bad as The Flash and the other one. Those legit got cartoony. I appreciate the callbacks as well as the references and stuff in the Flash, but even that couldn't save it, and it was just so ridiculous. You also see an annoying ass actor that is controversial and doing really stupid things, uh, and he's just in the movie more. Kind of reminds me. I wanted to make a video on this. I remember a YouTube channel, and I want to briefly mention this. That was like claiming, and apparently there's other people that think this, but claiming that Kid Boba Fett is worse than Jar Jar Binks. I'm just like, what? For Can I really quickly? I'm going to make a video on it anyways, but let me really quickly in this video say that is stupid. And here's the obvious reasons why. One, Jar Jar Binks has more screen time and dialogue. Two, Kid Boba kicked ass. He actually saved his father and prevented freaking him from being killed by Obi-Wan. Somebody's here. Let's see if I can get them. Okay. I do kind of prefer this SMG or the one I had. Oh. Okay. It's a cool skin, by the way. Dude, like, damn, I don't know. But, yeah, like, I always hated that there's the one video claiming that Jar Jar is better than Kid Boba. Kid Boba barely has dialogue. He's not even... He's barely freaking in it. I always found that so stupid when I heard that back in the day. Like, but I want to still tackle that because it's... I know that Jar Jar makes up for stuff in his freaking appearances in Clone Wars, but that was still took a while until he, as well as was after a lot of this stuff had already happened. Like, Kid Boba in that Clone Wars movie not only kicked ass and showed that he was capable of doing stuff, but he doesn't nearly have as much screen presence as Jar Jar did. He's in one movie and he's barely there. He's not even there enough or able to have enough dialogue to be annoying. I don't get people sometimes. Like, what the frick? I just want to get that off my chest. I'm still making a video on it because that's gotta be one of the dumbest things I've always thought about when I've watched some Star Wars videos. I don't remember who the YouTuber was that was claiming that, but goddamn, what an outdated, stupid thing. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. It is so stupid. How do they not see how obviously, like, flawed that is? It's like, alright, why am I wrong? Let's see what level. I know that objectively I can't entirely say that, but let's say screen time presence of the character, what that character actually does, and how much dialogue they have. And then once you realize that stuff, and then you put that to the equivalent of frickin' Kid Boba and Jar Jar, it's like, oh crap, I look like a dumbass. One clearly has more dialogue and time to be an annoying dumbass, while the other one's barely there and actually has some badass sequences. Whoops. Like, I never got that. I always found that really stupid. I just wanted to briefly say that here and rant about that. I'm still making the video though because I think that's stupid. But anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about Aquaman, Battle for the Lost Kingdom. Sorry. Not Battle for Atlantis, that's the first one. Honestly, like, even though I think that the first movie is objectively a better film, it's kind of hard to watch knowing that Amber Heard's character is more present in it, though. And she has more dialogue and scenes and such. It's just kind of hard to watch knowing her frickin' presence and just what she's done and such. So, yeah. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed or found something interesting about this. If you did, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.